Hello Pisces, Pisces rising and Pisces moon people. This is your weekly astrology and card forecast for the week of the 10th of October 2016. Now I do want to clear up a little something that occurred last week. A lot of folks kind of got a hold of me, like on my Facebook page and things like that, and they're like, you left out Mercury going into Libra on the 7th. And it's like, well, you know, that was on purpose, believe it or not. Because I did already address that in the monthly astrology for October, which is definitely meant to talk more about planetary moves, seasonal shifts, and things like that. I want to keep these weekly ones to the day-to-day, if possible. Unless it's like a big old full moon or something like where the sky is falling, I'm probably gonna hold up on cut and paste from the monthly horoscope, so that way everything is still somewhat fresh and new. So that being said, let's get started here with your horoscope. Now we do have Mercury in Libra doing a lot, so we do need to actually discuss that. So currently Mercury is and will be for the next few weeks in your 8th house. This is your area of passive income, self-employment income, as well as shared resources. And wherever Mercury goes, we have it speeding up opportunities, hurrying things along. And this is actually increasing productivity wherever it goes as well. And so a lot of communications as far as maybe actually bolstering your self-employment income or supplemental income, money that you might get from investments, money that you might get from, say, commissions, bonuses, tips, things like that. Sales are all going to be on the rise. Now, Mercury tends to bring that energy in a way where it's like a lot of little good adding up to big good. And so that's really where, how you want to be looking at this. A lot of little, adding up really, really fast into something huge in a very good way. And we actually have that big opportunity starting up here this week when Mercury connects to Jupiter and conjuncts Jupiter on Tuesday in this area. And this could actually talk about a very, very busy, very prolific 2 weeks to come, where you're noticing a lot of the shared resources that you have with others, whether they're business partners or even your partner, are on the rise. In fact, this could be great news, especially for those of you who are looking to kind of drum up that extra income, just to kind of fatten it up and actually get that extra avenue, flowing steadily. But also at the same time, if you have a partner, business partner, romantic partner, who you do share income with, or, the household shares income with, theirs is going to be on the rise as well, which is always very good news. Now, we also have, later on this week, though, the same Mercury in the 8th forming a tense square with Mars in Capricorn in your 11th house of friendships and social networking. And whenever Mercury and Mars get into a clash, we have to talk about motor mouth. We've got to talk about saying too much, sharing too much information, or too much back and forth, or maybe even too much sharing or not enough sharing on the resource front. And there could be a dispute this week with a friend or a colleague in regards to money owed, money earned, or an entitlement. This could be a situation where a colleague or a business partner, there may be a clash on what they are actually due. There might be some issues going on this week, especially if there is money owed or loaned to a friend or loaned from a friend as well. I definitely don't recommend doing any kind of deal like that Thursday and Friday this week. It will not be an easy thing to reconcile, to pay back or get paid back on. And, sometimes mixing money and friendship, only certain types of friendships are good for that. We just got to think about it that way. It's not always bad. It's never cut and dry, black and white. But, even myself, I would be like, I would probably loan money to 25% of the people that I know. Not because I don't trust the other 75%, I just know what it would do to the friendship. So anyway, let's talk about what is going on with your cards this week. Well, your spiritual advice this week, we do have the card of the Elf Queen. And this one, interestingly enough, your opposite sign, Virgo, got the same thing. And whenever I see this kind of thing, it's kind of interesting to see opposite signs go for it. So you might want to actually see what's going on the Virgo side as well. Check out the Virgo, what's going on the other side of the coin. With the Elf Queen, though, again, it's talking about the burden of responsibility and the burden of being a good leader and a strong leader. this week, because when we have, the Elf Queen show up, it's talking about doing more than just being a boss and delegating. Are you a leader or are you a manager? Are you a leader or are you a director? And the burden of leadership, the burden of being a good king, queen of the castle, captain of the ship kind of thing, really comes with how well you serve and know the people that you are leading, whether you are leading in a business or you're leading in a social group. A good captain, a good leader is always going to know what everyone's needs are and how they can all be met and have the best machine that you're all working on and with together. And that can be a hard thing to do, because sometimes you're working with a lot of people to please, and you're also with a lot of people you have expectations for. So this week, it's about making pals with those dissonances, and making sure that you can and that you're available to do that. For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and your finances, we do have the Lover's card upright, which is brilliant, absolutely brilliant, because this talks about a long-term commitment that is going to be a win-win financial agreement for you and another. If this is another individual, it could be, or it could be another entity, maybe even another business, a collaboration of some kind. We could be reviving an old partnership opportunity. If you and a friend or you and a colleague are thinking about going into business with each other, this is a beautiful aspect. Very, very strong, very powerful. One of the things I would pay attention to with the Lover's card upright is that those of you who are looking to even get hired at a new job are going to most likely find the place with the perfect contract or the perfect terms as far as getting yourself into a new place of employment there. But one of the things you've got to pay attention to with the Lover's card is this would be for long term. This is not like short-term impulse situation. We are talking about bonds of loyalty and trust that go far beyond the individual convenience. But that does also mean you can trust the people you're working with too. For your communications with air, when it comes to friends and relatives, we do have the Five of Wands inverted. And this card does talk about a ceasefire, making peace, making up, and actually, rekindling a friendship or a relationship with a family member that has sort of drifted apart, in recent weeks and months. Something where, there's just been too much distance. Maybe there was an unpleasant meeting, or, maybe we had some arguments and fights or whatever. And even if we do remember why we were fighting, the Five of Wands inverted is actually saying that the solution to that problem isn't the solution to the relationship that you have with this person. And a lot of times it's not. Fighting with people on principle, honestly, to me, it's an unwieldy sword. You've got to know how to play with it. And it looks to me like this week, both parties, you and them, are going to realize the friendship is so much more important than fighting on principle. And so good on you for being able to choose your friends over, that external kind of stuff. And good on them for doing the same. For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the Star card upright. Not a whole lot of challenge going on this week for the Pisces people, because the Star is a card that you just can't mess up. This is one of the cards where it's like upright, reversed, good position, bad position, doesn't even matter. It's always going to be good. And I think that the only challenge that could come with the Star card upright is, understanding what hope really is. Hope isn't about good vibes and feeling inspired. Hope is about the understanding that whatever challenge may come, you can take the bad news and know you're going to get through it. And some people, even some people I do, I do these horoscopes for, could use use this card a little bit. Because with the Star card upright, it's all about paying attention to the fact that a dream is being realized. There is actually certainty. Your challenge is realizing that we probably already have a goal or a win or a positive event guaranteed in a good way, even if things might not be indicative in your circumstances right now. Okay, your circumstances might not show such at this point in time. So how do you reconcile that? That is your challenge, and that's not a bad challenge. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we do have the Seven of Wands inverted. This card definitely talks about a need to pay attention to where you and a crush or you and a partner might be trying a bit too hard and trying harder than necessary to secure a feeling about this relationship or a status in this relationship. And sometimes the Seven of Wands inverted, it's one of those choose your battles kind of cards, where what is the most important thing? What are we really fighting for? Sometimes the Seven of Wands inverted, we kind of go overboard, or maybe it's not you, maybe it's the partner, the crush who goes overboard. And funny enough, everyone's fighting for a happy ending. Everyone wants this thing to work. We want to either A, get together, or we want to stay together, or we want to, deepen the love in this relationship. But it's almost like too much effort, too much aggression is actually the problem. It's kind of like, I really want this. It's the difference between handing somebody their birthday present and throwing it at their face, wrapped and everything. So where do we need to kind of dial it back, as a couple, or as a dating couple or a dating pair, or even as individuals? Where should we dial back our, the aggressive nature when we mean to be just assertive, in both understanding that we both actually want this to work? So that is your forecast, Pisces. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And of course, if you'd like to get a session, you can always follow the links below or go to integrativemysticism.com.